Right, so in today's video I'm just going to show you the best basic user settings for the Insta360 X5. So if you're fairly new to 360 cameras or action cameras from DJI or Insta360, what I will say is they do an excellent job straight out of camera in automatic mode. So first of all, I'm just going to be going over the automatic settings which I use with the X5. Okay, so first of all you want to be in your video mode, and first of all we'll start with the 360 lens. So when you highlight the resolutions at the bottom, you can be 4K, 5.7K, 5.7K plus and 8K. Right, so first of all with the automatic settings, we'll start off with the 360 camera and always highlight the video option. Then you can see at the bottom we've got the frame rates. Now I strongly recommend, if you're just getting into a 360 camera for the first time, always filming 5.7K 30 frames. That way you're going to get more options than if you go to the 5.7K plus. As you can see, the HDR and the adaptive tones not supported when you go to the 5.7K. And then in the 8K, which is the clearest resolution, and many people do film with 8K, and all the picture detail is going to be a lot better than if you were 5.7K. But obviously it's a higher resolution in 8K, so I'd save that if you really want high detail on a certain subject. So like I've just said, I always film in 5.7K 30 frames, and that way, as you can see at the top, I'll be in control of the HDR and adaptive tone. But just want to note, when you've activated HDR and adaptive tone, you won't be able to go into manual settings. So just keep that in mind, because that caught me out on the latest update. So as you can see there, we've got no way going into manual. But then if we flick back and deactivate the HDR, which also deactivates the adaptive tone, now you'll see as we swipe right to left, we've now got the manual option. So like I've just said, if you're just getting into the 360 camera, always use 5.7K 30 frames. That way you're the mid-range between that 4K and 8K, and you'll be able to get the detail rather than if you was in 4K, because 4K is good enough, but as soon as you start cropping into that 360 lens, it does fall to pieces, especially close to the subject you get. And while still in automatic mode, we'll just swipe right to left. And because I've deactivated the HDR, we've got the options now. So first of all, I always leave it in standard colour profile. We've just got two here. It's a vivid, bright, or a flat profile. That's like a D-Log, but I always leave it in the standard. And then here we've got portrait mode on or off. I always leave that off, I don't really use that. And then next to portrait mode we've got iLog, but that's not supported in automatic mode. Now we've got the EV values. Now these come in really handy on the conditions of the day. Let's just say it's a super bright day and you're in automatic mode. You can drop this to negative 0.3 or negative 0.7. I won't go any lower than that unless you're going to be messing around with ND filters. But that comes in really handy because on some action cameras in automatic mode, you don't get these options, it's greyed out. And then the opposite of that, let's just say it's a really dull grey day. You can bump that up to 0.3 or 0.7. But again, don't go any higher than that or we're going to be needing ND filters. So again, with the EV values, that's going to all depend on the lighting conditions on the day that you're filming. And then next to that, we've got the auto white balance. Now once again, the Insta360 X5 does an amazing job in automatic mode, so I always leave that in automatic mode. And then next to that, we've got jitter blur reduction. Once again, I don't really use this. This really comes into play when you've got low light footage. And then the last one on the automatic list there is auto balanced exposure. I always leave that in auto, but we can set that to standard or high. Once again, left in auto, you'll have no issues. Right, so now I've just looked at the automatic settings. We'll just go to the cog icon at the front, as there's going to be some more here. So swipe down from the top, hit the cog in the top right. If we scroll down to image settings, these are the ones that I use, and I strongly recommend that you do the same if you're just getting into it. Now I always leave my video encoding in H.264 no matter what camera I'm filming with. I mean, when you switch to H.2.65, it is a lot more clearer, but you're really going to notice that on a bigger monitor. So H.264 for me is just fine. And then the one below that is bitrate. I always keep this to high. I'd highly recommend you do the same. If you set it in standard, you're not using as much memory. It's only slightly higher, but you get a much more quality picture. And then with the video sharpness, I'd always set this to medium, as you don't want it too high because it'll over sharpen your images. And then once again, anti-flicker, I leave that in auto. That does a great job. Only time you're going to know any differences here is if you go in indoors with some lighting, you can get that light bulb flickering, but then you can just go into 50Hz or 60Hz. But majority of the time I just leave it in auto. And then always leave the in-camera stitching highlighted, because when this is highlighted, the 360 photos will be automatically stitched together in camera. Now from that menu, we'll just swipe right to left, and as you can see, we've got a lot more menus here, but just keep all these off unless you really need them. You've got that gesture control, the voice control, the twist to shoot, and endurance mode. Once again, if you're just getting into it, you don't really need to be activating these to trial your camera out. And then we'll swipe right to left again. This is where your Bluetooth, your audio settings, your quick capture, and your timed capture is there. Now I always strongly recommend with your audio settings, you always want these auto wind noise reduction strong with that built-in microphone ticked. That's the best one when you're outdoors, especially if there's any breeze. The other ones, I've done an in-depth video with these, and the other ones aren't as good, especially the auto wind weak compared to this strong. So always highlight the auto wind reduction strong. Now like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to go into manual mode, you'll swipe right to left. As you can see, that's very confusing because now we don't have the manual and automatic. So like I said, if you remember at the beginning, you must highlight the resolutions first. Now the HDR must be deactivated for the manual settings to appear. Now when we swipe right to left, as you can see, we've got the manual and automatic. Right, so from that home screen now, you can see with deactivated HDR, the adaptive tone doesn't get supported when that happens. We get the 5.7K 30 still. But now we'll swipe right to left and you'll see the manual appear. So we'll just highlight manual. Now we've got some options underneath, as we can see. So once again, I always keep the standard colour profile there, as I don't want flat or vivid. So I'll keep that in standard whilst I'm in manual. And then once again, I don't use this portrait mode, so I'll keep that off. And then we've got iLog, which isn't supported. That's a strange one. And then we've got the shutter speed. Now the general rule of thumb when applying the shutter speed is double your frame rate. So if you're filming in that 5.7K 30 frames, you want to set that shutter 1/60. That's the general rule of thumb, and that's where you're going to be needing an ND filter, to be fair. So we'll leave that at 1/60. Then the ISO, you want to get as low as possible there. On this camera it's 100, so leave it at that. And then the EV value in manual mode is not supported. And then once again we've got that white balance. Now again, I'll leave that in automatic mode, but if you want to adjust that, let's just say it's a really hot day like in a desert environment or a snowy environment, they're going to fluctuate from one end of the scale to the other. So once again, we're in manual mode, we've got that white balance set to auto, EV is not supported, ISO as low as it can go, which is 100. That shutter speed is double that of the frame rate, so that's 1/60 because it's 5.7K 30. iLog's not supported. We don't bother with this, portrait mode. That's basically, in portrait mode, when you enable it, that makes the skin tones look a lot more usable than if you were to use that in post. And then we've got the standard colour profile, just keep that on standard. And then once again, we're going to swipe down from the top, hit the cog menu, scroll down a little bit, we've got the image settings, and once again, just set these exactly like you did when it was automatic mode. Again, I keep that video encoding at H.264, the bitrate's always high, we've got medium sharpness, auto anti-flicker, and again, we're going to keep that enabled at the bottom for the in-camera stitching. So that's all the best basic user settings in automatic mode and manual mode on the 360 camera. Now obviously I've not mentioned field of view because when it's a 360 camera, for obvious reasons, it's a 360 camera, it's capturing 360 degrees, so there's no field of view to set there unless you go into the 360 app, and then you can tweak and mess around with your settings and tiny planets. But that's just 360, so there's no field of views to set out a camera as standard. Right, so now I've covered that 360 lens, we'll just go into the next one, which is single lens. Now when you highlight this, you're going to be utilising either the front lens or the back lens, so it's going to act like it's a normal action camera. And as you can see, just where I'm pointing, it says Ultra. Now obviously because it's like an action camera utilising that front lens or rear lens, we can now change field of views. So if we start from the top, we can have the Mega, Action, Ultra, D-Warp, Linear. Now the one I always use, which I always use for everything, every action camera as well as 360 cameras if I'm filming in single lens, is D-Warp. Now it's standard D-Warp on an action camera. And like I say, I always select D-Warp when I'm filming with this 360, as I don't like those bowed edges, although you'd slightly get a slight bow on there, especially walking through any doorways, but not as much as if you select that Ultra, which really bows the edges. So always keep that in D-warp. And then just underneath your field of views, we can utilise either that front lens as you can see, or switch it to this lens which is facing me now. And then just at the bottom now, you'll notice some differences with single lens mode versus the 360. As we hit the resolutions, and we're very limited here, we've just got the 2.7K, the 1080p, or the 4K. And from the 1080, we can get from 24 frames right to 120 frames. And the 2.7K, we've just got 24 right through to 60. And then in the 4K, we've got the 24 to 60 also. And then we can shoot the aspect ratio 16.9 or 9:16. And that's going to be for social media. But once again, I always film in 16.9. And whilst we're in automatic mode on single lens, we'll just swipe right to left. Once again, just keep that in standard. But there's lots more colour profiles as you can see. I'll not go through all these or this video will be too long. But as you can see, we've got a lot more to get through when it's on single lens mode. And then once again, next to that, we've got that very handy EV monitor in automatic mode, which is very handy. Keep your white balance again to auto. Now face priority, this is up to you. You can either keep the metering mode on, which gives the priority and accurate face exposure suitable for taking portraits, or you can take it into matrix. Now I always keep it on face priority. And then at the end there, we've got that jitter blur reduction again. I'd always keep that off unless you're doing some night shots. So that's all the basic settings in auto once again. And now if we just drag down from the top, hit that cog icon, scroll down, go to image settings. And once again, they're all going to be set like this because that's the way I set them. But I'm just going into this for you, and you can copy these settings and you'll have really no issues with any of your footage. So once again, we've got that video encoding, 264, high bitrate, medium sharpness, auto anti-flicker, and in-camera stitching enabled. So that was the single lens covered in automatic mode. Now we'll swipe right to left, and we'll hit manual mode whilst utilising the front lens. Once again, we're in standard colour profile. Now we've got that 1/60 because I'm filming at 4K 30. We've got ISO as low as it can go there, which is 100. EV's not supported. And we've got that auto white balance. So once again, drill those settings in, you'll be good to go. Now with the shutter speed, just keep in mind, ideally you want an ND filter on, and I've done plenty of detailed videos breaking that down and simplifying it with the X5 and all the other action cameras. So just go over to my playlist on the Action 5 Pro, Action 6, Action 4 or X5, and you'll see there that I've done in-depth detailed video with them ND filters showing you the settings. So ideally you want to be putting an ND filter on and keeping an eye on your EV values when you do that. Like I said, I've really broke that down detailed in some videos for you, so I'd highly recommend you go and see those. And then once again in manual mode, swipe down from the top, hit the cog menu, image settings. These are going to be the same, like I've just explained before. So that was just a short video today going over the best basic user settings if you're just getting into these action cameras or 360 cameras. Apply those settings which I've shown you in automatic or manual, and you'll be good to go when you're just starting out. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon, especially with testing out any new updates from any action cameras I own, so do stay tuned to that. But for now, thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.